Camp final day now. Just your general thoughts on another seemed like a very successful and competitive camp here in PG.
Yeah, I think I think camp is went very well. Like I say, the start of training camp, we had the orientation where we bring the young kids in, and the 08 group has fared very well, even in the main group here. So we got all the fitness testing done. You get all the anxiety out of the way from the young guys, and now we're right at the last day of camp, and it's went very well.
I want to ask about the 08 group because it seems like it's been a very big storyline here at camp. Just everyone talking about the talent and the potential of all these kids. I know a lot of people have been talking about Carson Carrolls as well, just how good he's been. But Coach, just your thoughts on this 08 draft class. It seems like there have been done a lot of good things all week long.
Yeah, they've showed very well. You go right to our first rounder, Carrolls. He's played very well. He's looked like a veteran out there, very poised and smooth. And I could go down the list of all the rest of the guys, but the whole group has fared very well, like I said before. And they can't make the team this year, but the potential for next year is very positive.
And now you look at some of the other guys that are fighting for spots through that 07 class. You look at Jet Lajoie, who's had a really good camp. But just your thoughts on them. It seems like there's some spots that guys are really fighting for, and some guys making a good case for themselves.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition, and we do have a lot of returning guys, but the competition from the younger group is something that you want to see. You mentioned Jet Lajoie. Hunter Lang, who he got injured, but he was having an excellent camp. The Foster kid has come to make the team. How he's been out there playing physical, playing smart with the puck. A couple of the other young D are playing very well. I could go on, and when you look at the camp as a whole, it's very positive. And you put shout outs to certain people, but when I look at that 08 draft class, and the work the scouts did, they deserve a ton of credit there.
When you look into the season and the window that this team is, do you approach it differently, Coach, coming into a year, or do you try to keep it fairly the same every year, despite the window that your team's in right now?
No, you gotta. We're very optimistic. We know the window that we're in, but you got to do things right. It doesn't matter. You can't get too far ahead of yourself. If you get too far ahead of yourself, bad things will happen. And there's still a process here. You got to get in. You got to get through training camp. You got to get healthy. You got to see where everyone's going to fit, and you got to get you got to get your team in the right attitude, and the right attitude is a winning attitude, and that's what we're trying to do.
Two more here before I let you go, Coach. A couple acquisitions, one on the ice and one behind the bench. But first, starting with Oren Shtrom, a player that you acquired a few weeks back. Seems like he's had a pretty good camp too, a little bit of skill, scored a couple times. But just your thoughts on him, a 19-year-old that had some injury trouble, but has had some pretty good years in the Western Hockey League also.
Yeah, he's an interesting player, and we got in the process of trading Brown. We wanted to bring a player back that could help our team. Shtrom was one of the guys that we're looking at. We did our research. He's got a lot of skill, real good character. The hub year, he got Rookie of the Year on that side, but he got in some injury problems, and it's a new team for him. He's excited to be here, and we're excited to have him.
And lastly, your good friend Jim Playfair now behind the bench with you. Can you maybe just dive into the relationship that you have with Jimmy, and now that you guys get to both be behind the bench together? I'm assuming, obviously, very good, cool for the organization, but cool for yourself as well.
Yeah, it really is. You never know where hockey's going to take you or bring you, or who you're going to be working with. And me and Jimmy, we're the same draft, we're the same age, and our careers, different paths that come and and at the same time, right? We're in PG together, but we got to, when I was in Arizona, got to know him there, working for the Coyotes, and then after that, getting to know him. He's through the Edmonton organization, and then last year, doing some work for us. But For our organization and having a guy like that at this time, if I could have went out there, and I've said this before, if I could have just went and picked a guy to come and coach, he would be the guy I picked. And so, we're good friends. We're going to have a great time. I can learn a ton from him. The players can learn a ton, and it's just a real good feeling having him around.